I'm the reason Robin Hood froze in 21. I turn red days green just to flex for fun. Hold account on calls, I don't hedge, I run. Diamond hands so cracked they could cut your thumb. Sip for a local while I chart this mess. Margin maxed out, still doubling the bet. Your TA's cute, but I'm reckless finesse. I treat the stock exchange like a Vegas roulette. YOLO long, double down, feed the flame. Portfolio's a slot machine. I rig the game, every dip's a shot, every rip champagne. I'm the bull in the pit with the broke man's brain. Coke on the keyboard, Chick-fil-A on the screen. Scalping tendies off the market machine. Broker blowing on my phone like settle the fee. But my calls print memes and the memes print green. I'm the IV spike that your grandma won't touch. The lotto ticket strike that pays too much. Let her burn cooking, I don't mind the crunch. Expiration Friday, I'm the Friday lunch. YOLO long, double down, feed the flame. Portfolio's a slot machine. I rig the game, every dip's a shot, every rip champagne. I'm the bull in the pit with the broke man's brain. Broke man's brain. Broke man's brain. Tesla profit, degen slot junkie. I'm the liquidity leak, the drip too funky. Blow my gains on strippers, lose it back on Monday. But I reload the account like a clown on payday. Risk management's a joke, I don't tell. I'd rather 10x up than break even well. I'm the ape in the suit, I'm the market tail. Short squeeze symphony, ring the bell. YOLO long, double down, feed the flame. Portfolio's a slot machine. I rig the game, every dip's a shot, every rip champagne. I'm the bull in the pit with the broke man's brain. Broke man's brain. Broke man's
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Hello, and welcome back to a specialty episode of the Matt Kohrs Show, where we're all going to be sitting around. Maybe if you want to crack a brewski or two, President Trump, in a mere 11-ish minutes, is going to be speaking on the state of the economy. So let's see if he says anything that gets the market going a little bit crazy in one way or the other. I do appreciate you joining me in a little bit of a specialty episode right now. I have no idea if the notifications went out or not. I'm sure they did on Rumble, but as it comes to the world of YouTube, you just kind of never really know with them. So, yeah, we're going to see. It's going to be what it's going to be. Folks, I hope you had a good trading day. It made me want to rip my hair out today. I got chop suey. Chop, 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 and more chop. The market just really didn't have a nice trend today. I ended up, unfortunately, losing my funded Lucid accounts. Today was day one of getting them funded, and I lost them day one. So that's kind of a kick to the nuts. I guess it would be more of a kick to the nuts if I had them for a while and I lost it. So maybe I shouldn't be complaining. So I lost those. Got Lucid evals, try to get those up to the 50% mark, messed that up, did that again, then it finally worked. And then I also had FFN evals that I ended up getting back, so I blew those out, got those back relatively simply, and I think that was more of a 40% rule. So I wasn't really quote unquote like on the edge of a payout or anything like that today. So it's not like a big hit, but I guess financially it's a hit in terms of what you have to pay for those evals. That sucks. I mean, I dropped probably a good 2 to 3K on evals today, so that doesn't necessarily make me feel better about anything, but hey, I guess it is what it is. In the realm of options, I did well. I think I made 2 to 3K on options. So basically what I made on options today is going right to paying for my habit of buying evals. So it's kind of a wash of a day, I suppose, to be completely transparent. I know many of you are probably going to ask, Matt, did you hear from Apex? No, I didn't hear from Apex. I wouldn't be this calm. I wouldn't be this normal. I wouldn't be making this show right now if I heard from Apex and found out that I'm becoming a millionaire. So no, by the fact that I guess I'm just having a normal day, it is in fact that, just a normal day. But something weird did happen, and I guess we have a little bit of time to kill here. For the new studio, you guys can't see it because I'm kind of pointing out where you are, but obviously there's a camera, there's monitors, there's lights, and I ordered a bunch of high-end stuff for the new show, and I have a lot of big plans to bring like kind of the studio and the vibe, you know, to the next level. And because of that, I needed 2 new monitors. And my plan is basically to have a vertical monitor, a landscape, and another landscape with like the camera kind of in the middle. And I need all these mounts and all these contraptions, and kind of looks like, I don't know, Doc Octopus or something like that. And a monitor came today, and like I wanted to meet the Amazon guy. And by the way, when I was waiting for the Amazon guy, I was just jamming out to Bo Burnham's Jeff Bezos song. Gets me jacked up every single time I'm waiting for an Amazon person. But anyway, he like I got the alert like 2 stops away, 1 stop away, and I saw him pull up, and I'm all jacked up. I'm like, yeah, stuff's coming, new lighting, new monitors, all this great shit. And it all comes, and I can see him carrying all this stuff, and I'm like, yes, that's for me. And then there was only 1 monitor, and I was like, that's weird. And I didn't want to be that guy, because if it's Amazon, if I bought like, I don't know, a bottle of soap or something, I'm like, I'll eventually get it. But with a monitor, like these are hundreds of dollars. I don't think it was so crazy that there was one. And then I just went back out, and I was like, hey man, like the delivery, it says 2, and it just says you handed it to me for 2. Where's the monitor? And he's like, yeah, come look at this. And the other monitor was in the truck. He's like, I can't give it to you because it's the same QR code. And when I scan it, it says it's already delivered. So I can't do that. He's like, I have to bring it back to the warehouse. We have to get a new QR code. Then we have to put it on the box and bring it back to you. And I was like, I get that. And I do believe that they're going to do it. But in the meantime, what's weird is like, let's say something does go wrong. I can't fight it because it says it was delivered and I basically signed off on it. But since there was 2 monitors in like 1 delivery, there wasn't like a half option of like 1 delivered, but the other not delivered. So that was a bit confusing. So that's what I'm dealing with, on top of the stress of getting absolutely chop sueyed in the market today. I honestly can't complain that much. It's not like I blew out a like actual fully funded accounts or about to get big payouts or anything like that. It's just kind of like an in-between choppy day. I mean, I made money with options, but that's just going to pay for eval. So I suppose it ends up being you live to fight another day type of a situation. So I hope you guys did far better than I did. And speaking of that, the market's going to close up a little bit here. Let me see. Let me move myself over here a little bit. Can you guys see this? Okay, yeah, you can. Okay, in proof, I guess just in terms of what happened today, some of the options I sold right here, $11.50, bought them back at $105, sold at $1.10, got them back at 30 cents. So that means after fees, I made $1,136, and that means before fees, I made $1,200. So that's one of my options accounts. The other options account right here, I sold at $2,943 in total, had to buy it back at $953. So that's a $2,000 gain there. So I made $2,000 on the public account, $1,100. So I made 3.1K selling premium today. And then obviously right here, you can see that the take profit accounts, I just scalp traded them because I already hit my profit goal. I literally just needed to burn another trading day. Actually, is that true? I never thought to check that. I might need like an awkwardly, like maybe like $5 or $10 more because I'm just above the amount. Log in. Let me see. I'm logging into my take profit. I just did a little scalp trade on all these ones that say take profit. Oh, golly. I hope I did not mess that up. Okay, okay, so that's good. Okay, one of these accounts is good. We're checking the second account. The second account is good. All right, we're checking the third account. I am just double checking the trade days, the total profit, and the percentage, like the 50% consistency or whatever. And I forgot to check that before. I just didn't know if I had to do like a random ass scalp trade during Trump's speech to try to save these. But it looks as if I am okay. So I am okay. So you can see here, FFNs, these are not the ones I started the day with. I lost those, started trading again. I maxed those out. These are on Rhythmic, so it doesn't count for the commission. So that'll be around 3.6 each. Take profits. I did a little scalp trade. I did not trade on top one, so we don't need that. I did not trade on Apex, so we don't need that. So I just want to show you how everything went. You can see, as I've already alluded to, these Lucid accounts right here, this was day one of them being funded, and I, unfortunately, with my head up my ass, blew them out day one. Not happy about that. I did get some evals and got those to roughly the 50%. So, like I said, I mean, it's a bit of a scratch day for me. I honestly hope you did far better because, as I've been saying a gazillion different times, I got absolutely chopped up. But hey, it's just one of those situations. If you want to trade with me, GooneyTrading.com. It is pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. Just want to throw that out there if anyone in here is looking for a great community of people to trade with. Other than that, the market's going to be closing up here in about 3 minutes. So looks like we're getting a little bit of a pop in the close. That's kind of interesting. Looks like maybe we're going to get pinned to 68.50. That's not the most insane thing. We've seen that before. All right. Yeah, that's just the newsletter that's going to go out, chop, and more chop. So we don't really need that. All right. I just need to update a little bit of my charts here when we actually get to the close. But other than that, that's pretty much the skinny on the situation. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to close this down. We don't need to burn any extra CPUs on that. I just kind of wanted to show you that rather than just talking the talk. Sometimes I do walk the walk. So I just wanted to be as transparent and forthcoming as I could. Like I said, if you want to join up, GooneyTrading.com, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Oh, looks like Nutty Bar crushed it today. Good for him. Trading from the hotel before my flight, was very happy walking away green. Dude, that is phenomenal for him. That is awesome. Other than that, we're just kind of waiting. There's a lot of drama involving this Lanto guy. People are saying that he just is spending multiple six figures on his resets. And all I have to say to that is if you're net ahead, who gives a shit? If you spend $1,000 to make $2,000, that's great. If you spend $100,000 to make $200,000, I get that it's the same ratio, but in the second case, like in terms of real world impact, you made an extra $99,000 there. So like, I get that people talk about ratios, but at the end of the day, we should also somewhat care about the magnitude of the dollars earned. Like, so I don't really get that. Hey, and maybe I'm missing part of the story, but I care about basically, are you profitable? And it seems, at least from what I can see, that guy is very evidently profitable. Now, can he use his methodology in his own funded accounts? Well, it sounds like no, but does it really matter if he's just making all this money anyway? Like, he's playing the game of props. And if you're playing the game of props, hey, those dollars are dollars. Like, if you spend $1 from your own funded account or you spend $1 from a prop firm payout, it spends the same. It really does, folks. I've checked it. As I go to this cashier, I go to my local high noon, I guess, membership plan. I don't know, whatever you're spending your money on, wherever you're going. If you're buying high noons, $1's $1. Like, it's going to be what is this one? It's going to be the exact same one. The next generation, the upcoming. Is this out yet? I really do like these books. If you'd like to pre-order, oh, never mind, it's not out yet. But anyway, if you're trying to go to your local brewer or something, I don't know if you brew high noon. That's the word I was trying to think of. Obviously, you brew beer, but I don't think you brew high noon. But anyway, if you go to your local brew place, they're going to accept the dollar regardless. They will. This guy, Scarface, he was proven to be a scammer. I think he doctored his interactive broker statements or something like that. Loss for words. Sounds like people were at the New York Stock Exchange today, as they are every day. Then what else am I missing anything? Am I missing anything? No, just Nutty crushing it. Just Nutty Bar crushing it. What else do we have? This guy arrested, younger brother of the King of England. That's about it, folks. All right. There we have it. Dingity, ding, ding, ding. The world's largest casino is now closed for the day. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. All right. We're just getting things set up, waiting for this to get rocking. It should be starting any second. Once again, President Trump speaking on the state of the economy. I'm just updating my charts so I know the basic open, close, all those good values, all that good stuff. Why is this not working? Why is this not anchoring the way I need it to anchor? Okay, there we go. We got it. We figured that one out. Problem solved. All right, we have all that. We could save this. We don't need that anymore. This is already running, so we're not going to be missing anything there. We have a little bit of... Look at that. Choppy. Dude, today absolutely fucking sucked. The one thing that I want to really drive home here is just how wild all this stuff was. Where's NQ? This is just absolutely... by the way, the volume is on. Like, we're not going to be missing anything. If this guy starts talking, we're not going to miss it. So don't you worry. He's not really known for being on time. So whatever. The 1 minute, we started off bearish. I tried to play this breakdown here at 940, and then I was unwilling to admit when I was wrong. I should have got out here, and then I didn't, and it went in my favor. And I was like, oh, look, I'm going to be right. So I added to the position, and then when it started to break, I very much should have got the hell out. We popped, we pulled back. That would have been a good entry. However, I was still short, so I didn't catch it. That was a nice pop. Then you had a decent pop here. It, like, if you waited for the pullback, it started to go, but it was kind of a fake out, but then it wasn't, and then it was, and then it wasn't. And then we were maybe setting up, and then it got hit, but then it didn't get hit, and we popped, and we were going to break out, but then we ended up breaking down, and then we were going to break down, but then we were going to break out, and then we were going to break down, and then this was a fake out. This was a legitimate short in here. I mean, 1135, something like that. You could have taken that. That was a nice breakdown, but then it popped 75 points in your face, and then it looked like it was going to break out, and then it got smashed, and then we had a strong recovery, which got smashed anyway, and then an actual strong recovery, which ended up getting smashed, and then kind of a recovery, which did nothing until we actually pumped into close. So it was a bullshit day. It was there was no trend to today. Everything was a fake out. It was all fraud. It was fraudulent price action. I'm going to take that to the grave. Trademark that one. It was fraudulent price action. It was deceptive by nature, malicious intent, and I'm sticking to it. You can't convince me otherwise. If you're like, but Matt, my fair value gap, SMC, change in state delivery, liquidity trap was spot on. The fuck it was. No, it wasn't. Maybe in hindsight, you're like, oh, long, short, long, short, short, long, short. Yeah, in hindsight, we all could have traded this well. In hindsight. But in reality, did anyone actually trade it well? No, it just didn't. Today didn't count for your hot luck streak. No, the streak officially came to an end. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that one. My streak did officially come to an end. I couldn't miss yesterday. Yesterday was easy peasy lemon squeezies. I mean, yesterday, how'd that go? Yesterday, I waited for the drop. I actually tried to take a little bit of the breakdown, and then I was like, nope, I want to go long, and it popped. It was a massive pop, and I got to ride the whole thing, locked in all my money, done for the day, didn't even have to think about it. It was beautiful. Chef's kiss, absolute perfection. And then that brings us to today, which, I mean, yesterday was so easy. Giant trend, sideways, no action, breakdown, giant trend, actually followed by another decent trend. So you had one giant making money opportunity, followed by another one, and then actually a pretty decent one in a close. Well, compare that to today. What the hell is this mess? What in the world is this mess? It's a bunch of undecided candles. Oh, that's what, yeah, you guys are right. It is an undecided candle. How dare they do this to us on the day of our daughter's wedding? Anyway, I hope you survived. I ended up violently going nowhere, both emotionally and financially. So we're gonna wait and see that one. He started his YouTube in 2012. I didn't know that's when Mr. Beast started. It feels like he's been along for quite a bit more. What is this one? He turned 5,000 into 110 million. 5,000, 10 million trading profits. Let's see.
This trader started out with $30,000 and has now crossed over 8 figures in trading profits.
Trading is not an Olympic sport. Like I've heard people say you have to be so focused and have the perfect routine, things like that. And I was like, you're just pressing a button to get in and out. There are challenges with that psychologically, but execution-wise, it's not that difficult. I don't even think that win rate is that important. For me, the real secret sauce is
this professional gamer turned trader took only $5,000 and has traded it to over $10 million. His secret is that he uses a high reward to risk profile.
You have to be prepared for very fast revolutions because people get frustrated, they give up, or they get too cocky and they get caught out. When you understand the psychology of like who's playing this game, you can understand why cycles move so quickly. There are some things I think are just absolute bullshit, or like maybe 1% of people can do it. A lot of the price action is noise. People read into the price action way too much, in my opinion. If you consider yourself a purely discretionary trader, I feel like you could at least 3 to 5x your result by adding some sort of.
Introducing Brian Lee. Brian Lee is a systematic trader who literally only uses data to make decisions within the markets.
I've hired a lot of different coaches throughout the years I've been trading, and at the end of the day, I realized psychology is kind of like the last percent if you want to get those small bits of edge. That's the most misunderstood concept, is just compounding and controlling that drawdown. And that leads me into another thing that's really, I've been wrong about, actually. One thing I've been super wrong about and underrated a lot, and I think it's because no one talks about it, is
starting out with only $50 of risk to now trading 8 figures. Learn exactly how he did it and more on this.
When they say systematic, is it automated or is it just saying he has a system? Has anyone watched that podcast episode? Because if it's a fully automated system, that's actually sick. But he said, oh, you just have to push buttons, which makes me feel like it's not a fully automated system. Interesting. Interesting. This is one who you're trading against. I bet this is the dumbest thing I'm going to hear all day. And I heard a lot of dumb things today.
I'm trading here. I want to see what happens around this area to see if we're going to drop or we're going to push up. Once I see this candle have no bearish momentum, I know that our support is strong enough to hold the support and we're going to push up. And look what happened right after that candle closed.
Yeah.
It pushed straight up. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, okay, bet. You want to see what's going on at the levels of support. We got to push up, we got to high, we got to low. And this is called a, what kind of pullback is this? Complex fucking pullback. That's all it is, bro. I'm trading here.
Opposed to a simple pullback. See, there's an entire gradient system of pullbacks. Anywhere from the most novice, simple, to extreme complex. In fact, some of these complex pullbacks are so complex, they're not even pullbacks. They're just simple bullish pops to the upside. That's how fucking complicated these can get. You might look at it and be like, hey, that looks like price is going up. But if you look under the hood, brother, it's actually a fucking complicated pullback. It's just complicated because it's actually an upside down pullback, which is actually in some circles a breakout. Dude, probably worth the $10,000 at that. What the fuck? She said, I ain't that Asian, Jesus. Oh, man. That's a complicated pullback. That's all breakouts are. They're all just complicated pullbacks.
The Bears belong in the city of Chicago. The Chicago Bears belong in the city of Chicago, right? And I've said repeatedly that the door is always open for conversations,
Isn't this guy a criminal?
Warren did call me yesterday. We didn't get a chance to connect, and I still firmly believe that their best position is in Chicago, and it's evidence. The evidence is.
Am I wrong on that? Wasn't he like
Is my
found
face straight?
guilty of like fraud or something? Or am I confusing him with another a different corrupt mayor. What is this?
Yo, a little message to okay? Before I go over there, motherfucker, lower your fucking price! Gave me some shitty black diamond for my Jesus piece. You dumb motherfucker, bro. You better lower your goddamn prices! Yo, a little message to...
I'm not gonna lie, at first I thought this was like the like German SS Hitler eagle thing, and I was like, that's kind of a bold thing to wear on the internet these days. I don't think it's that though. The top 3 largest ICT streamers on YouTube. Is that something you should necessarily brag about? I've also have not heard of 2 of these. Who the fuck is Benjamin and who the fuck is Lumi Trace? I've heard of Tanya. I've met her. She's nice. I hate ICT, but she's a nice human being and I hope she's profitable. But the 3, who the fuck? Hands up. Who are these 2? Who are these? Uh-huh. Never heard of them. Never fucking heard of them. I have heard of Tanya. I've met Tanya. What else do we have going on? Someone in chat said that there's no way Trump starts speaking before 420. Feels like you're going to be right. No idea. Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, hey, I hope they're great traders. I'm not going to be hoping for someone to be losing money. I just think it's funny that on the internet to have the goal, we are the biggest doing this. And then just no one knows who the fuck you are. He's been crashing out lately. Me or Trump or that guy? Who's crashing out? If it's me, I agree. If it's that guy, I don't care. If it's Trump, I'm excited. Oh, there's that same guy lost for words. I mean, it's cool, but is it like so profound? Lumi was Patrick BDH. She was that? What does that mean? Once again, I ask questions and then you guys give me your answers and then I get more confused. Like whenever you guys answer questions for me, I end up with more questions. I've never heard of him in my life. And I don't know if I would have heard of Tanya without, I think it was like a Tradeify meetup or something like that. Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau are expecting their first child together. Holy shit. Is the simulation testing me today? It feels like every consecutive scroll here, things are just getting more and more wild. I've been doing this a very long time. I've seen many fads, systems, gimmicks, personalities, indicators, and frauds. It would be wonderful to see more people return to focus on live real money trading with common sense. No ego, no competition, just skill and great risk management. Doesn't that resemble? So this guy is such a fucking scam artist. If you believe he knows anything about actually trading, I have a bridge to sell you. He's the biggest scam artist in the world of retail trading. And the fact that he has people thinking he believes he's a net profitable, dude, that guy hasn't made a net profit of $1 in his entire life. It's nothing but scams. Scams and scams and scams with dumb ass things. And the hair value gap. It's an inverted. Okay. Someone riddle me this as we still have time waiting for Trump. Seriously. I need someone to explain the science of this to me. So you have this guy, ICT, who he says he came up with this concept of fair value gaps, but he just stole it from someone else. So anyway, you could trade a fair value gap, but you could also trade an inverted fair value gap. And for those of you who don't know, inverted means the opposite. So you're telling me that there's a trading strategy that's apparently so fucking good that you could trade it and you could trade the opposite of it and somehow make money. Someone needs to break out a motherfucking whiteboard and explain this one to me. that you can trade something and trade the opposite of that thing and make money in both circumstances. What the fuck? So it's perfect. If you actually think about it, it's perfect. Because if you trade it and you make money, the argument is, well, yeah, I told you were going to make money. You traded the system. The system's profitable. And then if you trade it and don't make money, you would point out the opposite. If you didn't trade the fair value gap, well, it's because you didn't see the fucking inverted fair value gap. And that's what you're supposed to be trading. So no matter what, if you make money, it's because of what you were taught. And yeah, congrats. And then if you lose money, it's because you didn't trade the opposite thing that you were also taught. So no matter what, if you make money, it's because of his efforts and those teachings. And then if you lose money, it's because you didn't see the exact opposite thing. So no matter what, no matter what, either they're taking credits for your trades or explaining the exact opposite reason of why you didn't make money. Like, and what's crazier than this is that people fucking fall for it all day long. They fall for it and they're like, oh, it's just so good. Dude, they gobble it up. They're a fucking hungry hippo. ICT is a philosophy, not a trading system. ICT is retarded, not a trading system. A philosophy. What the fuck does that mean? It's not a trading system. It's a trading philosophy. Oh. Let me go cash that idea in a philosophy buck store. It's a trading philosophy. See, that's on me. That's where I got it wrong. Because it's not a trading system. It's not something you would systematically use within the marketplace. It is a trading philosophy. It's something you would philosophically use within a trading marketplace. That makes sense. I think I'm finally understanding it. After years and years of doing this, I am now understanding the larger secrets of the system. It's a philosophy. Doesn't ICT mean inbred cousin trades? Honestly, inbred cousins would probably do better. They wouldn't make such an insane mistake of using a trading system and the inversion of the trading system and expect money to be made on both days. Like that, it blows my mind that people fall for it. But then again, people also believe that the moon is real. So like, I guess there's suckers born every day, and I can't sit here and complain about it because it'll just drive me up a fucking wall. It is what it is. ICT is like Hakuna Matata, your problem-free philosophy. It's a lifestyle. It's not a trading philosophy. It's not a trading. It's a lifestyle. Wait, the moon is real? That's what some people try to say, man. It's moons, birds, etc. Yeah, there's crazy shit out there. I trade on full moons, only full moons. But that's the state that we're in. That is the state that we're in. Fucking people falling for this ICT bullshit. What's crazy is that none of them are profitable. Like, none of them. And the only people who are somewhat associated with that world that are profitable are people who learned it, as in they saw one of his stupid videos, they got interested in trading, taught themselves actual ways to make money, and then when asked about it, they just say, yeah, like I first learned about trading from ICT, but that doesn't mean they're trading ICT's philosophy. Dude, there's certain people in this industry that are just they're such cucks in like the worst definition of the word. They really, really are. And that's free speech. I'm allowed to say it, YouTube, before I get yelled at by the AI algorithm. Hang on. Sync. Behind the sink. My wife is yelling at me for the car keys. Behind the sink. I don't know why she needs to rip around in my Corolla right now, but hey, I guess it is what it is. It is what it is. What is this? What am I looking at?
Oakland police say someone broke into the mayor's office and stole a city SUV on Monday. The keys to the vehicle were taken. The car was recovered the next day in Vallejo, and the suspect is still at large. Oakland police say...
Oh, is this the lady who wanted to defund the police? That's kind of crazy that at one point in time people thought that was like a legitimate concept we should consider. What if we just get rid of all cops? Would that be a problem? Hey, a monkey and a monkey. A sad monkey. Well, maybe two sad monkeys for all I know. For all I know, defund the police. This is becoming oddly political. Dan is a legend. Currently trapped in Chili's bathroom because they're out of toilet paper. Called the restaurant from the stall twice to ask for a refill. No one has come. It's been 15 minutes. My feet heaters are probably cold. I was calling the wrong Chili's the entire time. Just came to my rescue and don't know how to delete the review. Dude, hell yeah, Chili's. I went to an Outback Steakhouse for the first time in like a decade this past weekend, and it was good, but it's not going to ever come close to Texas Roadhouse. I was kind of, weirdly, I was hoping that it would. I really, really was, because I was like, cool, there's one close, it's within 10 minutes, like, I'm going to crush it. And I wanted deep down in my soul to love it. I really wanted to love this Outback Steakhouse. And it was good. And the waiter was crazy nice. The drinks were good. But it doesn't have the same level of love as the Texas Roadhouse. It really, really doesn't. It just does not have the same... it feels like they're there for business. They're not there for family. You know? It doesn't feel like they're there for family. How long have you been holding shares at Texas Roadhouse? At this point, for years, dude. I'm up like 100% on my Texas Roadhouse investment. So not only have I been in it for a bit, I'm up a shitload of money. And it makes sense because when you're there, you're family. And I think that's a big thing that many, many other restaurants, they're missing. They're just there for business. They're trying to get you in, get you food, and get you out. While Texas Roadhouse, they care about your day. They care about your day. What about Lone Star? I've never been. It might rock. I don't know. I've never been to a Lone Star. I can't comment on the quality or lack thereof. Pro tip, you aren't family. Well, you're not going to the right Texas Roadhouse if you believe that. If Trump was Sauron from Lord of the Rings Part 2.
I want to build a big, beautiful golf course on the dead marshes and call it Morgulagor.
What in Valinor's name is he talking about?
You know, the dwarves were doing great things with my rings. They mined a lot of gold, probably more gold than anyone's ever mined before.
They talk too deep to Cousin Jim!
Who says it was too deep? I don't think it was too deep. I say mine, baby, mine.
They released a Balrog into the mines of Moria. It killed them all!
That was Morgoth's Balrog. I had nothing to do with that Balrog.
But you were a servant of Morgoth. It's all recorded in the scrolls of the old kings.
Fake scrolls written by fake scribes. There was no collusion with Morgoth. Next question.
Is it true you made the Witch King the Warden of Health?
Yes, he's a great guy, handsome guy, very healthy. I think he's going to do a great job as the Warden of Health. The elven houses of healing are a scam invented by the elf care industry to keep the people of Middle-earth sick.
Lies!
This is definitely going to get us DMCA'd, but since we're already fucking off, I have to play this song for you guys. Hang on one second. Like, I have to play this song for you. Hang on. I fucking love this. No, shut up. Everyone shut up. This is going to get us DMCA'd, but it's 100% worth it. It's 100% worth it.
CEO entrepreneur, born in 1964, Jeffrey Bezos. CEO entrepreneur, born in 1964, Jeffrey Bezos. Come on, Jeffrey, you can do it. Pave the way, put your back into it. Tell us why, show us how. Look at where you came from, look at you now. Zuckerberg and Gates and Buffett, amateurs can fucking suck it. Fuck their wives, drink their blood. Come on, Jeff, get 'em!
I want it to be known that whenever Amazon delivers to my new place, I can see him walking up. So I play this song every single time the Amazon delivery person comes up. And I actually get the feeling that they don't know the song because it never elicits a single laugh. Like, not one time have I gotten a chuckle from the Amazon person whenever I play that. And I'm going to keep doing it. You know, because sometimes you got to do it for yourself. You can't do it for the crowd. Sometimes you just have to make your insides laugh. And I wish I could tell you it hit every single time that I played it. It just doesn't. It just, it doesn't. What in tarnation? Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Where did you come from, Missy? What was that? What was that? Oh, that made me shit my pants. All right, we're still waiting on Trump, folks. I haven't forgot about this, by the way. I haven't forgot about this in the slightest, but we do have a cat on the loose. Dude, Bo Burnham is one of the best to do it. His songs rock. Dude.
Get your fucking hands up. Get on out of your seats. All eyes on me. All eyes on me. Get your fucking hands up. Get on out of your seats. All eyes on me. All eyes on me. Are you feeling nervous? Are you having fun? It's almost over. It's just begun. Don't overthink this. Look in my eye. Don't be scared. Don't be shy. Come on in. The water's fine. We're going to go where everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody. We're going to go where everybody knows. Everybody knows. Get your fucking hand up. Get on out of your seat. All eyes on me. All eyes on me. Hey, go on, get your fucking hands up. Get on out of your seat. All eyes on me. All eyes on me. Yeah. Heads down. Pray for me. Heads down now. Pray for me. Get your fucking hand up. Get on out of your seat. All eyes on me. All eyes on me. You want to hear a funny story?
Yeah! This is probably one of the best comedy specials ever made.
I quit.
Called Inside. Everyone, if you have not watched it or listened to it, do it. It's
Because I was
the
beginning
best.
to have severe panic attacks while on stage, which is not a great place to have them. So I quit. And I didn't perform for 5 years. I spent that time.
I don't even want to know what Matt does when he's on streaming. It gets dark, brother.
I did.
Lots of neighborhood pranks.
I got so much better, in fact, that in January of 2020, I thought, you know what, I should start performing again. I've been hiding from the world, and I need to re-enter. And then, the funniest thing happened. Are you feeling nervous? Are you having fun? It's almost over. It's just begun. Don't overthink this. Look in my eye. Don't be scared. Don't be shy. Come on in. The water's fine. You say the ocean's rising like I give a shit. You say the whole world's ending. Honey, it already did. You're not gonna slow it. Heaven knows you tried. Got it good, now get inside. We're going to go where everybody knows everybody knows everybody. We're going to go where everybody knows everybody knows. Come on, get your fucking hands up. Get on out of your seat. All eyes on me, all eyes on me. Hey, come on, get your fucking hands up. Get on out of your seat. All eyes on me, all eyes on me. Yeah, hands down, pray for me. Hands down now, pray for me. I said, get your fucking hands up. Get up, get up, get up. I'm talking to you. Get the fuck up. Get your fucking hands up. Get on out of your seat. All eyes on me, all eyes on me. Hey, fucking get your fucking hands up. Get on out of your seat. All eyes on me, all eyes on me. Yeah, come on, hands down. Pray for me, hands down now. Pray for me, I said get your fucking hands up. Yeah, all eyes on me, all eyes on me.
That's your homework. Watch the entire special. It's amazing. I'm getting yelled at in chat. I don't comprehend how you can enjoy silly things like this and be supportive of an administration that is stripping away our civil rights and freedoms. You know, Chuck, you bring up a valid point. And I guess this is as good a time as ever to let you guys know that I don't think we should have civil rights or freedoms. I don't. What the fuck? Dude, we're slamming it with songs today. No, but seriously, fuck civil rights, fuck freedoms, get rid of all of them. Don't want one. You know what they say? One civil right and one freedom is one too many. Get rid of all of them. Give us negative freedoms, negative rights. I don't want them in here. Get out of here with that.
Thank you very much. It's great to see a vibrant
Anyway,
place.
freedom.
As you know, about a year and a half ago, it wasn't so vibrant. I'm looking at all this brand new steel and equipment that just went up because of our tariffs, because of our president, but because of our tariffs.
Our president,
and I'm
referring
thrilled
to himself.
be back in the great state of Georgia with the men and women of an incredible American company, the Kohrs Steel
When they come for your bank
Corporation.
account, you'll be singing a different tune. I don't believe in money
More
either.
than 50 years, the hardworking Americans at Kohrs Steel have poured out their sweat and blood and tears to turn into what? Look, you wanted to take raw material, and you wanted to take beautiful metal, and you wanted to turn it into the highest quality steel racks and plates in the business, all stamped with those really beautiful words. You don't see it too much, but now you do again, made in the USA. Right?
Fuck yeah.
And this company prospered and grew from humble beginnings in a Georgia manufacturing. What happened is you became, in a very short while, a Georgia manufacturing giant. But then you watched your core business start to fade. I just spoke to your great owner, and he's great, but he got hit by stupid politicians, basically.
What's freedom
Making
anyway? That's a
specialized
hard-hitting
steel tire
question.
racks dwindle from 2 bustling shifts to 6 days a week down to 1 shift and 1 hour. 1 hour a week. Then you went back up to 2 days, then you went back to 3 days, then you went back to 1 day, then you went down to 1 hour. Because all the business was going to China and other countries from outside. And it wasn't only here, it was other plants also. I assume your friends, likewise, were having the same problem. Your jobs were being stolen as foreign nations dumped their subsidized products. Don't forget China and these other countries. They pay for it. It's all subsidized. You don't get too much subsidy. But they dropped the subsidized products on our market to try and put Americans out of business, and that's what they were doing.
China.
You're lucky you have a man that is so proud of this place. He kept it going, barely kept it going. It wasn't easy. You're a lucky guy. But now, thanks to the fact that we got elected on November 5th, and thanks to what I call the Trump tariffs, business at Kohrs Steel is booming again. We just spoke. It's booming.
Don't try to change the world unless
And
it's
in
for
October,
God.
you received your first
Other
large
than
order
that,
for
just live
tire
your
racks
life
since
the best you can.
2014.
The world
It was
is
a
a
big,
scam.
massive order. In fact,
What if you want to change it
great
for
man right
Allah
here thought that they made
Kelly.
a mistake. He said it can't be possible.
or Buddha?
No, it's called tariffs. I said my favorite word in the whole dictionary is tariff, and I got in trouble with, look at all the fake news back there. Look at them. I got in trouble. No, I got in trouble with them because I said tariff is my favorite word in the whole dictionary. They said, what about family? What about God? What about wife, children? I said, all right, it's my fifth favorite word.
He's
Now
like,
I'm okay.
fuck
They
it,
did
I
me
love
okay.
tariff.
They didn't like it one, but it's my fifth favorite word in the dictionary. You're back to producing at full speed, 2 shifts a day, and he's going to 3 shifts a day, 6 days a week. And you've got a backlog now that's 7 months long. What a difference.
Backlogs.
From a couple of hours
Give it up
a
for
week
backlogs in chat.
7 months.
Backlogs.
And it's all because
Big
you finally
backlog
have a
fans in
president
this
who put
chat.
America first. That's what it is. But it's also
Piper loves backlogs. And
It's
she
also
loves
because
back
I
rubs,
opposed
too.
powerful 50% tariffs on foreign steel where they were coming in and dumping crap all over our country. I ended every
love
one of the
backlogs.
Biden-era exemptions, and on August 18th, I
Oh,
added
yeah,
new tariffs
backlogs.
to cover 400 derivative products, including steel racks, which is what you make. So I say congratulations, and what a great comeback. This is a comeback that 2 years ago, right, you were almost, I don't want to say out of business, but you're almost
Backshot.
out of business. I guess he said you can say it. Do it close.
Oh, you guys pissed off
borderline.
Chuck. God forbid we
Telling
listen to
his
the
wife, Let's
president.
have tuna fish tonight, darling. Forget about the steak. But stories like this, companies are right now playing
Chuck's
out
angry.
in
Chuck's
cities
angry in
all
chat.
around
Everyone
the
be
country,
nice to Chuck. Stop
towns,
picking on him.
villages, all over the
He's
country.
upset.
And to think I have to be in the United States Supreme Court for many, many months waiting for a decision on tariffs. Without tariffs, this country would be in such trouble right now. Without tariffs, this country would be like your company was 2 years ago. What a difference it made. And you know who brought the cases against us? People that are China-oriented, people that have business in China that want to rip us off and keep ripping us off.
You know, he like
and the
almost wanted
tariffs
to
had
say
stopped us.
Oriental. China
And not only China,
oriented.
other countries too.
He paused there,
People
like he was
from
gonna
other
let it rip.
countries,
Like he was going
Canada
to. He's like, I
and
can't say
others,
that.
They sue us.
I
Canada
can't
has
say that
ripped
word.
us off for years. Not anymore.
Oh,
They're not.
China.
And I'm waiting for a decision from the Supreme Court. Can you imagine? We
It was a
have to
good
wait.
pivot. He pivoted
I just heard the
mid-word.
story today, and I've told it 1,000 times. I don't think I've ever heard it any better. I even took him back to the fake news where he related the story, that he was in serious trouble. There was no business. There was no business anywhere. How was this place 2 or 3 years ago? It was not just here, the whole area. It was a disaster. And now it's vibrant. And we have to justify this.
It's
because
AF.
people come from other countries
How do I get
because
the
they
chat?
ripped
Hang on.
us off for
Idea.
50 years.
I have an idea.
And now we're doing the same thing to them, and we're being very modest about it, right, Howard? We're being very modest about it.
Howard, tell
Go
him
a
about
lot
how
further
modest
if I
we're
want
being.
to. Because what they've done to us, other countries, what they've done, they almost put us out of business. And I'll tell you, if I didn't win this election, and if you had a moron like Kamala or a moron like
Is that a
Sleepy
question?
Joe Biden, if you had these people back, our country would have been finished. We wouldn't have had a country. So just yesterday, I was visited by the CEO of the drug company, Novartis, and his name is Vaz, first name, great guy. And he came into the White House to see our great chief of staff, who happens to be with us. Where's Susie? Susie's with us someplace. She is great. First female chief of staff and the best chief of staff. And she wanted to bring him in. It's a big, very big company, all based outside of this country. And she wanted to bring him in, so I said, come on. So I said, hello, how are you doing? How's it going? Sir, I'm building 11 plants in the United States. I said, that's a lot. How many do you have? None. But we're moving almost all our business into the United States. And I said, why are you doing that? Tariffs. Tariffs! Can you believe it? He said tariffs.
Tariffs!
And I got to be before a court. Can you believe it? This is like men playing in women's sports. Transgender for everybody. I have a new one to add. Voter ID. The Democrats don't want to give us voter ID because they want to cheat. The only way they can cheat is if they... Look, we can stop them so easy. You know what they say? We don't want voter ID because it's racist. Okay? That's a good one.
Is it actually racist?
I'll tell you what, when they look at the polls, 95% of the people want voter ID.
I thought this was supposed to be about the economy.
Proof of citizenship. So we want voter ID. We want proof of citizenship. For you to vote, let's prove that you're an American. So please, proof of citizenship. They're fighting that. They're fighting that.
Chuck, are you still in here?
We don't want to have mail-in ballots where they're mailed in from all parts of the place.
Chuck,
mail-in ballots are crooked as
is
hell.
voter
We're the
ID
only
is
country
racist?
in the world that use this type of mail-in ballot. The only country in the world. I'll tell you what, Republicans have to win this one. We'll never lose a race. For 50 years, we won't lose a race. We want voter ID. We want proof of citizenship. And we don't want mail-in ballots except for the military far away, except for people that are ill, disabled, or people that are away. Even for a vacation, we'll be generous, okay? Other than that, we don't want mail-in ballots because mail-in ballots, they cheat. Without tariffs, what would you do? You know what? Everybody would be bankrupt, everybody. The whole country would be bankrupt.
Where's the economy talk?
I have to wait for
Fair
this
question.
decision. I've been waiting forever. And the language is clear that I have the right to do it as president. I have the right to put tariffs on for national security purposes, countries that have been ripping us off for years. You know what they were doing? Using tariffs. What a country. So sad. So just 1 year ago, under crooked Joe Biden, and he was crooked as hell, our country was dead. Now we have the hottest country. In 1 year, we have the hottest country anywhere in the world, right, Kelly?
He's talking about, like, sexually the hottest.
Remember when I used to say, Fuller sort of reminded me, I listened to your speech, very good. I'm endorsing that man, by the way, very strongly. I actually listened to your speech back there, and you said, you remember when the president used to tell the story about getting tired of winning? You reminded me, I haven't told that story in a long time. You're going to be so tired of winning, you're going to be exhausted, you're going to get tired of winning. Remember I say, your governor or Kelly Loeffler, somebody's going to come up and say, President, please, we're winning too much. We're not used to it. George is not used to it. We can't take it anymore. People are working too hard. They're making too much money. Please.
I do hear this quite a bit.
We don't want to win anymore, sir. It's too much. I said, nope. We're going to keep on winning. The people of Georgia want to win. I'm sorry, Kelly. The people of Georgia want to win. Last week it was announced that the United States added 172,000 jobs in the private sector. We reduced if I wanted to have really great job numbers, don't do any cutting in the public sector. I cut off 300,000-400,000 jobs in the public sector, and then I add many more than that in the private sector. And you know, those public sector people that got cut, they hated me and now they love me because they've all gone out and gotten much better paying jobs in the private sector, working right here for you. But we've created more than 5,000 manufacturing jobs in Georgia alone. And we've had a very good relationship with Georgia. And as factory construction gets underway, we've created 70,000 new construction jobs right here. 70,000. And you know what they're building? Factories like this. I said to that brilliant person right there, I see the yellow steel. You know what that is? That's a crane, brand new. I said, how long has that been here? He said, about 2 months. He said, tariffs brought it here, sir. Your policy brought it here. So today, more Americans in the prime of their life are part of a labor force than at any time since 2001, and then you could go back another 25 years from that. And more Americans are working today than at any time in the history of our country. Think of that statement. Any time in the history of our country, there are more Americans working today. In 4 years, Sleepy Joe Biden got less than $1 trillion of new investment into the United States. So in 4 years, he got a lot less than $1 trillion.
Do you think he's ever called him Joe
But
Biden
without
once, or is
pro-American
it always
economic growth and the
sleepy
use of tariffs,
Joe Biden?
We've already secured commitments for over $18 trillion. So think of this. In 11 months, because we haven't even gotten to last month, in 11 months, we have $18 trillion worth of investment coming into this country. And here's an example of it. Nice family, by the way. That's better looking than your crane. I like the family better than the crane. Very good.
Is he
But a good
comparing
family.
a human
The
family
stock
to a
market
machine?
has set 53 all-time record highs since the election. 53. Think of that. 53 days it was at an all-time record, adding $9 trillion in value. But you got to go back for a second. So we do over $18 trillion in 11 months, and Sleepy Joe, for 4 years, did much less than $1 trillion. Think of that. This country would have been dead. Adding $9 trillion in value to your savings. I added $9 trillion, and your retirement accounts and 401ks are at the highest level they've ever been. And then I have to listen to the fake news talking about affordability. Affordability. Do you notice? What word have you not heard over the last 2 weeks? Affordability. Because I've
Why is
won.
that
I've won affordability.
backwards?
I had to go out and talk about it. But we inherited a mess.
All right, that's not
We
right.
inherited the worst inflation in history. But I'd like to correct it because it's actually, the fake news corrected me. He exaggerated. He said it was the worst inflation in history, and it's only 48 years. So I apologize for that, Kelly. I apologize. So it's the worst inflation in 48. Actually, I think they're wrong. I think it is actually in history. We had the worst inflation in history under Sleepy Joe Biden. He was sleeping while you were working. Now, he was sleeping while you were trying to get a job. You weren't working. And now we have the most people working in history. And just recently we crossed 2 milestones. They thought it was totally impossible when the S&P hit 7,000 points and Dow Jones surged past 50,000. Again, I was supposed to do that within 4 years. They said he's got a small possibility. I don't know how many of you people watch the stock market, but if the stock market's good, that's good for everybody. That's good for you, good for everybody. But the stock market hit over 50,000 for the first time in history. They said maybe he might be. This is right after my election in November. They said, you know, Trump's a great businessman. He might be able to get 50,000 by the time his term finishes. No, we did it, Howard, in 1 year. 1 year. Under the last administration, every economic policy punished American workers and businesses like this one, while rewarding those who outsource to foreign nations. Under the Trump administration, our policy is the exact opposite, making it harder to outsource while rewarding those who invest, hire, grow, and build right here in the USA. We don't have countries coming in and stealing our businesses anymore. They were coming in for many years. I had it stopped in my first term. We had a great first term. We had the greatest economic numbers we've ever had until now. But this term, I will say, it's blowing my first term away. We've slashed a record number of job-killing regulations, cutting 129 old regulations for every one new regulation approved. Think of that.
Hell yeah. Fuck regulations.
So we approve one, and we cut 129. And what that means is jobs. That's all it means.
What's on the end of a crane,
the radical left
folks?
war in American energy. Now oil production is up.
What does a crane look like?
600,000 barrels a day, and natural gas production is at an all-time high.
Could be a
Plus, we have a great relationship.
He said the family is better
with a country
looking than the
named
crane.
Venezuela. You've heard about
What's
Venezuela?
on the end of a crane? Have I not seen a crane?
And we're helping them
a
very
hook?
much with their oil.
Like
They
a
got
fish
lot of
hook?
oil. We do too. But we're helping them a lot. We took 50 million barrels of oil is right now floating very nicely in
I feel like
extremely
that's not
large
a
ships
crane.
to Houston, where it's processed.
There's
And
no
it's gonna be
way
great for
cranes are
Venezuela.
driving
The
around with a
president's doing an
giant fish
excellent
hook. That
job,
doesn't make
getting along
sense.
great. But that was a very strong attack, would you say? It was a very
Perfect. Like,
That
that's
wasn't like Jimmy
exactly what
Carter.
it is.
That wasn't like Sleepy Joe Biden in Afghanistan, where he had no idea, had no clue what he was doing. Take the equipment.
It might be a
You know, I
crane.
was getting out of Afghanistan.
Much smaller? No,
We
that's
get out
to
with
scale.
dignity, strength. They feared us, but we shouldn't have been there.
That's
frankly.
the scale.
But we were getting out with dignity and strength, taking all the equipment. He left the equipment. They said, leave everything. Let's go. I said, what do you mean? You're leaving a $150 million airplane? And one of the generals told me, that's when I knew he was a stupid general, Milley. Sir, it's better to leave the plane. I think it's cost efficient. You're going to leave a $150 million plane because you don't want to fill it up with a tank of gas? These people were so stupid. But now we have General Raisin Cane. He's a little different. A little different. He's a little different. I was told by my first admin, I had these generals, you know, what the hell, I never did it before, so I picked a couple of losers. But the first ones, they told me, sir, it'll take 4 years to defeat ISIS. And I said, how could it take 4 years? We have the best equipment in the world. Why? And I rebuilt the military my first time. I said, why would it take 4 years? They said, well, I would. So I decided to go to Iraq, and I flew to Iraq. I was extremely brave. In fact, so brave I wanted to give myself the Congressional Medal of Honor. I said to my people, am I allowed to give myself the Congressional Medal of Honor? And, you know, I've given out so many to guys that are seriously brave. I mean, they come in with the arms are missing, the legs are missing. The stories are so unbelievable. And I said, no, it's a little stretch if I gave myself one of them. But it's one of those things. Someday I'm going to try. I'm going to test the law. Brandon, I'm going to say, let's give it a shot. Maybe I'll win in court after everyone sues me. After radical left lunatics sue me. Now watch. The fake news, you know I'm having fun. The fake news will say, Donald Trump wants to give himself the Congressional Medal of Honor. But he was rebuffed by the audience, who stood up and booed the hell out of him.
Hear, hear.
No, they say that kind of stuff. It's amazing. They say, if I'm sarcastic, even a little bit, they make it sound. You know, I said one thing the other day, a little while ago, a month ago, 2 months ago. I said, I don't think I'm going to make it to heaven in front of a massive group of people, 56,000 people. And they were all saying, oh, what does he mean? I don't think I'm going to make it to heaven. I'm doing a great job for a lot of people, but I don't think so. I'm just not worthy of heaven. I'm not going to make it. And I was having a good time going, you know, I was having fun. I hope to make it. But I doubt I will, to be honest with you. A lot of you will. I'm not so sure. But I was having fun. The New York Times has a front page story. Donald Trump is now questioning his mortality. They made it like I was totally... So you can't joke. It doesn't work. Kelly Loeffler here, small business meaning big business.
That's a pivot. That's a pivot right there.
She's a Georgia peach. She's a great one. But she's in charge of all of the small business loans. It's called the Small Business Administration. When you add it up, it's the biggest bank in the world or something, right? But she's done a fantastic job. Thanks, Kelly. To help businesses like this one expand production in the United States, we provided 100% expensing and bonus depreciation for all new equipment and capital investments, like that crane that you see back there. And it's all part of the Great Big Beautiful Bill. The Great Big Beautiful Bill is basically a tax cut bill. And, you know, when you hear the fake Democrats talking about it, like, oh, the Great Big Beautiful Bill, you know, they try and mock it. We put 4 years' worth of goodies into that bill, and everybody said it couldn't be done. You'd have to go into 17 different bills. It's all in that one, and that is cut after cut. It's basically tax cut and business expansion. It's one of the greatest bills ever passed. Remember that when you hear these phony guys like Hakeem, our low IQ, I guess. I mean, he's a pretty low IQ individual. But I hear him talking about no tax on tips doesn't matter. No tax on overtime matters. No tax on Social Security for our 1.8 million Georgia seniors matter. Who's the senior in this room?
Here for
I refuse
to
raise my hand. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm a senior. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But think of it. No tax on tips.
The guy
no
really, he does just really rip
for
it.
the people working there.
Do you think
How
he's
incredible.
ever
And for our seniors
read
like me,
a script once?
no tax on
Or does
Social
he just
Security.
like,
And watch what happens.
I got it.
They will now say, because I just gave them an idea, that Donald Trump passed the no tax on Social Security so that he could save $1,000. Oh, they're going to find me at conflict. They're going to say, Donald Trump has a conflict. I'll pay it, okay? You know what? I don't even talk about this much. I get no credit for it. So, as president, I make $2 million over 4 years, $2.5 million. I waived it. I'm the only president that ever waived it. And they never, ever talk about it. But every week, some of the scum from the New York Times will call, did he waive it? And if my secretary would say, yes, he did. If I ever said, no, he didn't, it would be a headline scandal. But you know that in the history of our country...
Can you just, like, not accept pay?
In the history of our country, there's never been a president that waived his salary. I'm the only schmuck. I get no credit for it. You know what? I get no credit for it. Nobody ever writes about it. It's the first time. We have a couple of front row Joes here.
How much money do you think he made off of Trump coin, though?
Thank you very much. Have you ever heard me even talking about it?
So he waived $2.5 million.
They've heard me talking about everything.
But he cleared like $100 million on Trump coin?
I just did today because somebody said, you know, nobody's ever written a story about you waiving your salary. You know, it's still a couple of $1 million. It's like not peanuts. It's estimated that these policies will help raise income in this state by $7,000 in the coming year, every year. Boost household take-home pay by over $10,000 and protect more than 200,000 Georgia jobs. It's amazing. No one knows the importance of tax cuts and fair trade. More than businesses like this one. So now I'd like to ask the president of Kohrs Steel, Andrew Seville, very nice name, to come up and say a few words. I'd like to say, because I'm telling you, I met this guy.
Give it up for Andrew.
He said something that his wife is going to be extremely upset. I said, how are you doing? He said, President, if I didn't have all these cameras running, I would grab you and start kissing you violently. And I said, why is that?
Can we fact check that?
Because what you've done for us economically in this state, in this town, with the tariffs in particular.
He wanted to kiss him.
Just,
you heard it here first. Breaking news. Steel Titan, Ball Steel Titan, wants to make out. He wants to French the president.
Welcome to Kohrs Steel. My name's Andrew Seville, as he said. I joined here
and I
in 2001 with my dad after I graduated from the University of Alabama. I've got to say roll tide. I've got to.
Roll Tide. Yeah, I found the president hot. He could
My
get
dad
it.
bought this company in 1985. We began to diversify, add all American-made equipment. Everything you see here, American-made. We have all American-made steel. That's all we keep in all of those warehouses. All of
American-made steel for these American-made lips. Come here, big boy.
We saw the tire rack industry
Give me that.
really dropping off around
Come here.
2010, and it was tough on our racks department. It was tough on these guys you see down front, these people that are used to this heat. I'm sorry if some of y'all aren't, but this is nothing to them. But the tire rack industry was going to China.
China.
There were no tariffs.
No
They were
cuties in
bringing
China,
them in,
you know?
and they were decimating the tire rack business in America. Your first term, we saw some things come back, just a little bit here and there. The second term, about July, the quotes, the orders, I couldn't keep up. They were coming nonstop. In October of 2025, we landed our first huge tire rack deal that we had in 10 years. This is going to keep our racks department busy for 2 shifts a day, 6 days a week, and we're pumping them out as fast as we can go, and they're all going to Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, right in America.
America. Tire racks. The home of tire racks.
Mr. President, what you've done for these guys down front, what you've done for our entire economy, what you've done for all of America, couldn't be done without your favorite word, tariffs. You did it. You're making America great again. You're making all these guys more in their wages, and we couldn't be more than happy to call you Mr. President.
Is there more?
Wow, good man.
They kiss. They made out.
And, you know, I say the car industry is
A friendship
coming back.
kiss.
The plants from Canada, they took a lot of our car business. That was a good job. You know, that's what he just said. You know, I had a speech to write, but I wanted to go from the heart. That's what you did, and much better. That's much better than reading a speech. But our car industry is coming
Totally.
back like
Just
nobody's
a
ever
peck.
seen. It's all coming.
Now
They stole
kiss.
it. 52% of our car industry over the last 30 years went to Germany, Japan, Mexico, Canada, all coming back. We're building plants all over the country. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. All because of, look, it's because of, I guess, November 5th, the election and all, but it's because of the election I did the tariffs. Nobody else would have done it because nobody else had the guts to do it. And a great economist came in yesterday and said, "Sir, you did something that nobody has ever done. Nobody. 22 Nobel Prize laureates on economics oppose you on your theories on manufacturing and other things, on the economy. And you were on one side and they were all on the other side. They said we'd be in a recession. And you were right. This is the boom like he's never seen before. And even crime is way down. Crime is at the lowest level in 125 years before my father was born.
Crime
But he said, what you've done is
now
amazing. You had 22
illegal. No
Nobel
more
Prize winners
crime.
in economics, and you.
What
and
the
you
fuck
were the
was
exact
that?
opposite of every one of them. And they admitted now, every one of them admitted. But
What
I
did
had
you guys
Howard on
do?
my side.
How'd you make that go dig?
Great Secretary of Commerce, and I had Kelly on
Who
my
did that?
side. And I have Fuller on my side. I know that. I got my Fuller. You better win that election.
Don't
And I
you
had
do
the
that.
lieutenant governor of this state on my side, Burt Jones. Burt Jones. You know, all these guys are coming in now, loaded up with some money. Who the hell knows how much money he's got? But Burt Jones has been here and been with you and been with me right from the beginning. He's been with me for so long, right from literally the first day. And Brandon, you've been so incredible. Secretary of the Treasury, that's pretty good. You've come a long way. He's a very successful state senator with me all the way. These guys are with me all the way. I'm going to introduce them in a second. Another Georgian whose workers will benefit from our tax cuts is Kirk Cowan. Kirk owns the GMC Value Mart, a family business and a fixture of this community since 1971 with 100% expensing. A lot of people don't know what that means, but basically, you'd be able to deduct over a 40-year period. We're letting you deduct your expenditure over 1 year. That crane is deducted, probably knowing him, I think the crane is deducted before you even took shipment. But no, you're allowed to do it. 1 year expensing. It's a big, big thing. It's why we had so many, it's why we were so successful in the first term. And now we even expanded it and we made it 10 years. In other words, it's good for 10 years. With 100% expensing, bonus depreciation, and no tax on the overtime. And Kirk says that the tax cuts are helping him keep the store up and running, and it's doing better than it's ever done before. So, Kirk, could you come on up for a second, please, Kirk?
Oh, did they make out?
Up,
I just need a diagram of who kissed who. Very extensive, good-looking guy.
Come on.
There's a dude. What is that ding? It's gonna drive me nuts.
Good afternoon, Rome, Georgia. My
They
name
kissed
is Kurt
too.
Cowan, and my family and I
Guaranteed.
are proud to call this community home. I'm the owner of GMC Value Mart, a family-owned pharmacy and grocery combo my parents started back in 1971.
Fuck yeah.
If you've ever shopped at GMC, you know we're not a big chain supermarket. We have fresh meats cut in-house. We know our customers by name, and we work hard every day to keep prices fair for families. But running a small business isn't easy. Between fluctuating food costs, regulations, and pharmacy reimbursement rates that don't always reflect what we pay, it can feel like the deck is stacked against you. That's why policies that support small businesses really matter. Under President Trump's leadership, Section 179 limits have increased, and permanent 100% bonus depreciation incentives make a huge difference. They allow us to reinvest in equipment, which doesn't just help owners, it helps keep prices down, keep people employed, and keep serving our neighbors. For us, that means upgrading our pharmacy to stay competitive and continuing to support local schools and community events. It means GMC Value Mart can stay right where it belongs, right here in Rome, Georgia. I'm grateful to have a president who understands small businesses are the backbone of a town like ours. Thank you, Mr. President, for standing with local businesses. It truly keeps places like ours alive. Thank you.
Thank you, Kirk. Good job. Really good job. You think it's easy for these guys to get up and do that? It ain't easy. It's not easy, and that was really a couple of great jobs. Another key part of our tax bill is Trump accounts. That's a big thing. These are the tax-free investment accounts for every American child, starting with $1,000 for every newborn baby. Every newborn baby. I also want to thank Michael and Susan Dell. Dell, go out and buy a Dell computer, because they don't care about that. They care about this. They make a great product. They're not looking for any publicity. I give them publicity. They say, well, thank you very much, but it's okay. They put up $6.25 billion. He started making computers on his bed. All of a sudden, he's got Dell. But he's a phenomenal person. She's a phenomenal woman. And they fund the accounts, and we're going to have funded 25 million children. So when they get to be 18 or 21, like these young, beautiful kids up front, they'll end up with a potentially really good nest egg, depending on, where the economy goes a little bit. But they could be quite rich. And they start with $1,000. And a lot of people now are putting tremendous amounts, because you're allowed to come in and put your money into those accounts. And a lot of people doing it actually way over what we thought would be. It's been tremendous. I want to thank Michael and Susan. Joining us today is Bree Thomas, a local women's clothing boutique owner, along with her husband, Austin. Their newborn son, AJ. Bree and Austin are very excited to launch AJ's Trump account with millions of dollars. Think of this. millions and millions of dollars being put into these various accounts. But on July 4th of this year, think of it, all you have to do is go to the TrumpAccounts.gov. Go to TrumpAccounts.gov. People are putting in money, and the people themselves are putting. Millions of Americans will benefit from these pro-job, pro-worker, pro-child policies. But Georgia's Senator John Ossoff and every Democrat in Congress voted against them. He voted. John Ossoff, you know, I competed with him numerous times. He ran against a woman, I think her name was Karen Handel, and he was leading her, and they called for help. I came down and helped, and she won. That was his first experience with me. And then I never heard from her again. I think she said thank you, but she ran another race a couple of years later. She didn't win. She never asked me for help. That was a mistake. But she won. And then Ossoff somehow got involved in the Senate race. I said, no, he's easy to beat. He's a real stiff. Real stiff. You know what a stiff is? He's a real stiff. We don't want people like that representing Georgia. Who would think that Georgia has a stiff? Anyway, and with us today are some of the amazing warriors who, unlike Ossoff, have stood up for the people of Georgia, including Congressman Brian Jack, Mike Collins, and Barry Loudermilk. You guys out? Come up, fellas. Come up. I gotta get these guys up. These are great people. Come on up. Proud of everything. They're warriors. But Loudermilk is going to take it easy now. I can't believe it. She's leaving. I can't believe it. We want him to stay. Say hello, fellas. Come on, Barry.
Mr. President, as I was sitting out there and I was looking back here at the crane, you remember
that crane?
First term we were all
That's
on the Trump crane. I think we ought to have a Trump crane right here, right? See, Trump cranes all over manufacturing plants in the United States. Look, the greatest honor that I've ever had serving the people of Georgia is to work with this fine gentleman right here. Yeah, he called me back in Memorial Day weekend. I got a call from the White House and said, the President would like to come meet with you in the Oval Office on June the 1st. So I headed up to D.C. and I got over to the office early, and when I walked in, we got a picture made, and we were talking about something pretty important, about the investigation of January 6th. But after we talked about that, the conversation changed, and he started telling me about this golden era of America. And when I got back to the office, the staff asked, how did the meeting go? And I couldn't stop talking about the golden era of America. I said, we're going to return to that time in America that we all heard about, but our children have never experienced. And we are seeing that come to fruition right now because of your leadership. Thank you, Mr. President.
Well, it is good to be back in Rome, Georgia. Do we have anybody here from Georgia's 3rd Congressional District? So that's my district, Mr. President, and the last time you and I shared a stage was in Rome, Georgia, 2 years ago when you endorsed me for Congress. It is special to welcome you back here. We're celebrating today passage of the Working Families Tax Cut, and as the President brought folks on stage, it is abundantly clear those tax cuts are working here in Georgia, they're working across the country, and they're going to help us win in 2026. I have the privilege of representing a district whose father represented behind me. Mike Collins' father, Matt Collins, represented my district for 12 years, and he is running to replace John Ossoff. So with that, I introduce Mike Collins.
Mike Collins.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, that tie looks sharp on you. You look good. Thank you. What's up, Rome, Georgia?
Whoa there, brother.
I want y'all to know something. It is a true honor and privilege to serve you in Congress and represent Georgia's 10th district. But I want to say one more thing. It is probably the greatest time in the history of this country to be a member of Congress because we've got true leadership and the guidance of President Donald J. Trump. And I want you to know a couple of things. Now, we need to grow our majority in the House. so that we can continue with an America First agenda. But folks, we got to make sure that we put the right Republicans in to help us to get this job done. And Clay Fuller, you're going to help us do that. I'm going to leave you with one last thing. Go vote. You have got to get out and vote. You get out and vote. You help us grow this majority. You help us out in November. I'm going to kick Ossoff out of the state's U.S. Senate. We're going to restore Georgia values out in that Senate. And y'all, we are going to continue to take our country back. Thank you.
Fuck them commies. I would just gaslight them if I ever spoke in political events like this. I would just gaslight them about like the Cold War. We can't lose to these fucking Russians.
I'll tell you. Loudermilk.
Cold War's not dead.
You were the one that they
Dude, I'd fucking gaslight the shit out of everyone
Congress
all of the time.
To a couple of kids.
Commies have infiltrated
and a mother
us.
And a father, and they said that they were communists. They were actually constituents from Georgia.
Am I on to something?
It angered
the
him
fucking
so
Ruskies.
much that he became a wild man, and he was very effective. And I always say, I said they picked on the wrong guy. Here's the guy shows up.
I predicted it.
With a couple of really nice country, beautiful people with their two kids. He's showing them the Capitol. And they said, he's showing them classified information. He's showing them. The people didn't even know nobody knew what they were talking about. These people are sick. But I want to tell you, Loudermilk, that was very cool. You didn't take it easily. And problem, a lot of Republicans are nice. The Republicans are too nice. And they just sort of would listen and they won't comment. Barry decided to comment, to put it mildly. You made them go through hell. I want to just tell you, you've had a hell of a career. And I hear you're not running, and we're going to have somebody very good. You know that? But you are fantastic and did a great job. Thank you very much, Barry. Thank you. Great. Very proud of you. I also want to thank Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, who's got more good ideas. He's a very, very successful guy. Thank you, Howard.
Wasn't he found in the
Howard
Epstein files multiple times?
Big things happening.
Mr.
And I
Lutnick?
introduced you already to SBA Administrator Kelly Loeffler, who's an unbelievable woman doing an unbelievable job. Never lets you down. Treasurer of the United States of America, Brandon Beach. He is a winner and a friend. And he's another one. I didn't know him, but I kept hearing these wonderful things about a guy named Brandon Beach, and he was fighting for us. By the way, did you see? They raided the Fulton County place, storage house. And now the Democrats have hired a massive team of lawyers. They have the ballots. That should be no problem, right? They have the ballots. FBI came in and raided. They found plenty of stuff. And now they have the ballots. And the Democrats are fighting like hell, and I think it goes before a judge tomorrow, to not let anybody see the ballots. Why don't they want them to see the ballots after all these years?
What's in the ballots?
You know why they don't want? Because they cheated, that's why.
What's in the
They
ballots?
sent top lawyers down from New York to fight it. And I think it goes before a judge tomorrow sometime. They don't want them to see the ballot. They've taken the ballots. They have them now. After years, they got an order from the court, signed order from a very respected judge, and now they're trying to stop anybody from looking. You know why? Because they cheated like dogs.
What the fuck is that noise? You guys are going to drive me.
Agriculture.
Is it something with the chat box?
Commissioner from Georgia, Tyler Harper. Tyler, thank you. Nice hat. Nice hat. State Senator-elect Stephen McNeil, a great guy. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. Great guy. State Representative Katie Dempsey. Thank you. Katie, great job, Katie. Thank you. Georgia legend, Ambassador, well, let me tell you, he may be, because, you know, Burt Jones was a really good football player. And we have Gunnar Stockton here today, and he's really good. He's really good. But even Gunnar would admit that it's going to be tough to beat the legend of Herschel Walker. Do you agree, Gunnar? Come on. Because, Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones was a great football player too, but he said, I heard you were great, Burt, but you were not Herschel. Hey, Herschel, come on up with Gunner. Bring Gunner up here. Come on.
Hey, Herschel.
Gunner's been a fan. I heard about this great quarterback for Georgia, young guy, handsome guy. We don't like handsome guys. I don't like being around them. I don't want anything to do with handsome people. But Gunner is a big star and a really talented quarterback. But I heard, much more importantly, he's a Trump fan. So he was standing at the plane. And anybody that likes me, I like them. But I hear he's got a fantastic future. Gunner and Herschel, say a few words, please.
Did they kiss too?
No, this is a great opportunity. Just to meet a president and Donald Trump. It's an awesome experience, and I'm just glad to be here.
Aw, shucks.
God is good. Promises made, promises kept. This is a president right here that's going to go down in history as one of the greatest presidents the United States has ever had. Is standing before you right now is President Donald J. Trump, because what he's done, he's given his blood, sweat, and tears for the United States of America. So we got to get out and vote and do the same thing, because if we do not do that, we will lose this country, because men shouldn't be in women's sports. I can know what a woman is. I know that guys should not ever be in women's sports. I know that we should always respect the law because it's written in the Bible, and we got to get back to what things are and make it simple. Make it simple and make it easy. This is the president to do it. Get out and vote the correct way, because we want to save America. Thank you, President Trump. I love you. I told him I will always fight for him. I've known him since 1983, and I tell you what, he's the same man in 83 that he is right now, and I love him to death. Thank you, President.
I'm looking at these two guys. They're like steel. I'm hitting them in the shoulders, and it's like my hand isn't the same. They're like steel. Any women would like to tackle these two guys, please?
Lots of dude compliments
I don't know. This whole thing with men and women's sports
Lots
is not
of,
working out too well.
I'd kiss him.
What a joke.
He's good looking.
We added the new one. I'm
he's
telling
so
you.
big,
We have a couple of new ones
burly, and strong.
It's all about. It's
a
all about
lot of
bromance
bromances going on today.
Call up an incredible leader and a friend of mine for a long time, and I just want to let you know, a lot of people running. This man has my complete and total endorsement. It's not like, oh, gee, let me think about it. Burt Jones has been an incredible leader. He's been an incredible
how hot is he, though?
Politician. He was a really great football player, but he has just been solid as a rock, and he loves this state so much. And I really want to see him win. People are coming in with lots of money and lots of everything else.
It's called being confident in your sexuality,
number one, he has my
Matthew.
endorsement. Number two, he has
Chuck,
the greatest career. He has
you sound like
really,
the
really good
worst
at what he
person
does.
to talk to
I
at
think
a party.
Brandon would agree with
Like,
that.
you just
Everybody would
don't
agree with
seem
that.
like
Bert's
a
been
fun
very
individual,
special.
like, whatsoever.
And I know Bert's father, Bill, is around someplace. Where's Bert's father? Bill is so great. You know, Bill was a big shot in this. But Bert's going to take it to another level, right? That's what we want. That's what his father wants to. Bert, come up for a second, please.
Bert. Hot Bert. We call him Bangin' Bert.
Well, needless to say, is he not the finest president that we've ever had in our lifetime?
Oh, he's fine. Bert, we know what you're talking about.
And I appreciate the compliment, Mr. President, but I can promise you I don't even sit in the same room with Gunner Stockton and Herschel Walker in my playing days. In fact, I asked Gunner Stockton, how many SEC championship rings do you have? He said, maybe 3, 4, something like that. I was like, we only got one when I played, you know, and that shows you how he's a great football player, but he's an even better young man. So I just really appreciate being with him today. But I want to tell you this real quick. The reason why I've supported Donald J. Trump since 2016 through 2020 to 2024 is because he has done exactly what he said he's going to do for this country. When he said he's going to put America first, he did just that. He shut down the border. He's bringing jobs back to this country. He's making us the top world leader on the world stage. People now fear the United States.
The top world leader on the world
stage, which is very good.
America. The top world leader on the world stage.
When we were traveling
America.
down the roads here in Rome, Georgia, he was asking me all these questions, and I was sitting here, well, I'm not really from here, Mr. President, but I can tell you as much as I want to tell you. I was like, Rome, Georgia is blue-collar America.
Where the fuck is Rome,
Georgia?
Georgia?
Is a place where they've got great law enforcement because they got a good sheriff here. They got great health care services right here. They got great leaderships like Katie Dempsey right here.
It's
and
northwest
it is a
of Atlanta.
Microcosm of what this country looks like. And so if we want to keep Georgia red,
Chattanooga, Oconee National Forest.
America first. Trump.
It's like right below
candidates
Chattanooga,
across
northwest
the
of
board.
Atlanta.
And I'm so proud to have his endorsement right here because us taking that Senate seat back and keeping the governor's seat in the Republican column starts right here in the 14th district right here. So we got to have your support, and we appreciate you, and we appreciate everything you do, Mr. President, because you are the best. So thank you very much.
Trump responding to a question about Obama saying aliens are really discussing. He's not supposed to do that. I don't know if that's real or not.
That whole group. You may have heard that last year the murder rate saw its single largest decline in recorded history to the lowest level in 125 years. With us today is a tough on-crime district attorney here in northwest Georgia who helped achieve that feat, putting violent criminals behind bars where they belong. And I just want to introduce you because I know he spoke before for a couple of minutes, and I heard what he said, and I loved what he said. It just made me even feel stronger about him. He's an incredible young guy. He's going to be, I think he's going to be just a total winner, and it's what we want. Clay Fuller. Clay, you have my total and complete. Come on up if you want, Clay.
Clay.
Come on up.
Cutie Clay.
We want to vote for Clay. He's going to take it home. Total winner.
What
Everybody
the
loves
fuck
him.
is that noise? That noise is going to drive me crazy. Cute Clay.
I don't mean to disagree with Ambassador Herschel Walker and the Lieutenant Governor, but I want to see if the crowd agrees with me. Beside me is the greatest president in our country's history.
Playing to the crowd.
And Mr. President, I know you like a winner, and that's what we're going to do on March 10th. We're going to win this. We're going to go to Capitol Hill, and we are going to be a warrior for Northwest Georgia, and we're going to be a warrior for this man. And we will never stop fighting for the MAGA movement and President Donald Trump. And sir, the endorsement was the honor of my lifetime, but I was wondering if you could do me one more favor. My beautiful daughter is here, Tallulah. She got detention to come and see you speak today. Could you pardon her, please?
I don't think presidential power overrides a school detention, but we'd have to check the laws on that one. Something about separation of
Tallulah.
state and school.
Where's Tallulah? Stand up, Tallulah. Tallulah, you are fully pardoned. Don't worry. Just tell the teacher I said it's fine.
Doesn't
and you have
work
a
like-
great father. We got
doesn't
to
work
get out
like
and
that.
vote for him, Tallulah. Thank you. Thank you, honey. Our tax cuts, regulation cuts, energy price cuts, and job-creating trade policies are rapidly pulling America out of the economic disaster that Biden and the horrible people that he surrounded himself with. He wasn't calling the shots. He wasn't calling the shots. The auto pen people were calling the shots. Whoever the hell worked the auto pen. I don't know how he did it. You know, I have people, sir, would you sign this? We're making a 4-star general. Sir, would you sign this? We're doing a big plant. Would you? They're all important. You don't give that to an auto pen. It's so demeaning. You're a general. You're an admiral. You don't give that to an auto pen to sign. After gasoline skyrocketed to over $5 a gallon and in some places $7, $8, and even $9 a gallon under Biden, Our policies have brought gas prices way down, and now at $2.37 a gallon. But I was in a beautiful place called Iowa 2 weeks ago. $1.85 a gallon for gasoline. Way down. All of it's come down. We inherited a mess with high prices and high inflation, and we've turned it around and we've made it great. And they don't mention, like I said before, they don't mention the word affordability, Kelly. They don't mention it. I haven't heard the word in 2 weeks because they can't get away with the gig. It's all a con job with them. Airfares, hotels, car payments, rent, sports events, groceries. Everything's down. Everything's down. Dairy, eggs, potatoes and chicken. Core inflation is now the lowest of any time in more than 7 years. The last 3 months, we've had the lowest inflation we have had in over a decade. The last 3 months, it's 1.4%. We had record inflation. You don't have it anymore. I'm going to make a State of the Union address on Tuesday. I hope you're going to watch. And we're going to be talking about it. But you don't hear the word affordability. You know, they just say the word. They look at the camera, say affordability. And I'd be watching, I'd say,
affordability.
Do people believe it? They would say affordability. Everybody would say, oh, Trump's caused. No. They caused the affordability problem, and we've solved it. And we're going still lower, but we've solved it. But more importantly, we've brought back the American dream, and we have a country, I think, that within the next 12 months, maybe sooner, but within the next 12 months, it's going to be the greatest it's ever been. I don't think we've ever seen anything. When Steve Moore told me yesterday, he said, we've never seen numbers. We're going to have an explosion of success, and that's exactly. And the more successful our country, the more successful everybody in this room is. And under Biden, real wages plummeted by $3,000 a year, and there's still much to do, frankly, but our numbers came up. We outpaced inflation for the first time in decades. We increased wage gains for a typical worker, outpaced inflation by over $1,400. For miners, it was $2,200. And for the typical worker at factories like this one, it was almost $4,000 a year that we outpaced inflation. And that hasn't happened in many, many years. Every day we're fighting to reduce costs and bring down prices for hardworking citizens, including crushing costs on health care. And in fact, I read a nice story a few months ago. I love to read things about health care. Can you believe it? I didn't used to read it.
No,
Now I read it.
actually.
And what happened is I see that health care was spending, insurance companies are getting from our country for health care trillions and trillions of dollars. And their stock prices have gone up by as much as 1,700%. How would you like to invest in those stocks? 1,700%. And I said right then and there, and it went viral. And knowing nothing about it, it went viral. I said, we shouldn't pay the insurance companies anymore. We should pay the trillions of dollars directly to the people and let the people buy their own health care. Put it in a health care account, and people loved it, and we're looking at it. The problem is the Democrats are totally bought off and taken care of by the insurance companies, so they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it because they're captive to the insurance companies. Under our most favored nation agreements, and this is the thing that I think every Republican should win on, even if you hate them in every other way. Agreements for drug prices, that we're slashing drug prices by 400, 500, even 600%. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Because we were paying the highest drug prices in the world, and now we're paying whatever the lowest price is in the world. That's the price we're paying. And to do that was also tariffs. I called countries. When I finally got the healthcare companies, the people that make the drugs to do it, and remember, that's going to lower your health care because medicine's a big part of the drugs, and it's coming down at numbers like that. But I got the drug companies to do it, and then they said, doesn't matter, you'll never get the countries to do it, because the countries had to agree. So a pill that's selling for $10 in New York is selling, let's say in London, in New York is selling for $130, 13 times more. Think of that, 13 times more. So they said, there's no way they'll ever do it. I said, yes, there is, 100%. I started calling the heads of countries, like France, Emmanuel Macron, he's a good guy. I said, Emmanuel, you're going to have to double the price of your, see, the world is bigger, so you don't have to bring it up like to the middle. They would have to double or triple the price, but that's a lot for a politician. I said, Emmanuel, you're going to have to lift your price by double or triple. No way, I will not do that, Donald. Why would I do that? I would be out of business. I said, no, you're going to do it 100%. No, I will not do that. I will not do that. Yes, you will. You're going to do it. And he said, no. I said, here's the story. If you don't do it, I'm going to put a 100% tariff on all of the wine and champagne that you sell into the United States. And you know what he said? I will do it. I will gladly do it. And that's going to cost you many, many times more, right? Howard heard me. With many people. I called Germany. I called many, many countries. Spain. Oh, Spain was no. We won't do that. He laughed at me, thought I was a fool. We won't do that, sir. Why would I do a thing like that? Because I'm going to charge you tariffs if you don't, and the tariffs are going to cost you much more than what we're talking about. And they all said, like I said, we'd love to do it. We'd be honored to do it. So the Republicans should win on that alone. Your drug prices are coming down by 70, 80, 90%, or, depending on the way you figure it, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900%. Think of it, depending on the way you want to calculate. There's two ways of calculating that number. We're also expanding the dream of home ownership, and we are really right now in American dream territory. One of the biggest factors driving up housing costs was the Biden border invasion, which brought in millions and millions of people flooding into your communities, getting government subsidies on homes. Foreign-born workers now make up over 1/3 of all demand for Georgia housing, driving up rent and housing costs. Now that we've secured our border, we stopped the invasion. Think of this. Millions of people came through our border every single year. Millions and millions of people. In the last 8 months, I don't even believe this could be possible, but it's close. 0. And that's done by radical left Democrats. Now, not one person in the last 8 months has come through our border, except if they come through legally. So rent prices have hit 4-year lows based on what we've done. By bringing down mortgage rates, we've also slashed the yearly cost of new mortgages by $4,000 a year. And new mortgage applications are up 30%, and Kelly Loeffler's doing a fantastic job. In the last 12 months, Fannie and Freddie Mac helped 22,000 first-time home buyers purchase a home right here in the great state of Georgia. I love Georgia. We won Georgia big, didn't we? Too big to rig. It was too big to rig. Vote for Burt Jones. Vote for Fuller. To continue this trend, I'm ending the scam of Wall Street firms and large institutional investors buying up all of the single-family homes all over. They go in, they buy 10,000 houses. Then people come out and they say, we can't buy a house. I ended it.
If you guys don't tell me what that sound is about, I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
Georgia was affected by this issue more than almost any state in the union, but America will not become a nation of renters. We're not going to have a nation of renters. That's why I recently signed an executive order to ban Wall Street and large institutional investors from buying those single-family homes. Can't do it. Not allowed to do it. Not allowed to do it. They were buying tens of thousands of houses, just buying them and putting them in the market for rent. And to stop surges in food prices, we take care of our amazing farmers. Nobody's taken care of farmers like I have. Nobody's ever received the votes of farmers like I have either. I also recently issued $12 billion out of all the tariff money. We're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars. We're going to be taking in next year $900 billion in tariffs, unless the Supreme Court said you can't do it. Can you believe it? That I have to be up here trying to justify that with people like you. I have to put you on a stage in front of your family, but you did very well, so it could have been very embarrassing, right? You did very well. But It's a shame that I have to justify this because it's just common sense. We took in hundreds of billions of dollars. Out of that, I gave $12 billion to our farmers because they were taken advantage of by many, many foreign nations. And just over 1 year ago, we inherited a mess, the results of ruinous inflation, economic surrender, a border invasion. They invaded our country, rampant crime and chaos all over the world. But today we've ended that disaster. America is back. Our economy is roaring, and our country is respected again, respected like never, ever before. We've achieved more in 1 year than most administrations achieve in 8 years, and we're just getting started. Oh, we're just getting started. We've got things that are happening that are as good as what you've heard. I don't know if they can get better, to be honest, but they're good. With the help of Georgians, we are here today. We're going to have you do something. We're going to have you keep on working, keep on fighting. Together, we're going to make America great again. You know, I came up with that phrase a long time ago, make America great again. Who would have thought? It turns out to be rated, not by me, by anybody, by stupid people, frankly. Anybody would rate it. The #1 phrase in the history of politics in America. Right? It's called Make America Great Again. That's what we've done. And when the past administration and guys like Barack Hussein Obama, have you heard of him? When they get up and they say, we will stop MAGA, we are going to fight MAGA, we must stop MAGA, I'd say, no. MAGA means make America great again. You don't want to stop that. And we're doing that, and we're doing it at a much more rapid pace than we ever thought possible. Even the enemies are saying what's happened in this country in 1 year is a miracle. And it's not a miracle. It's common sense. It's smart people working with incredible people like you, the people of Georgia. I want to thank you very much. And to this steel mill, I'm going to come back here in 2 years. I'm going to look it up. You'll be 3 times bigger, and I appreciate it. Great words. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Yeehaw.
There's no need to build it. Say it again. Just stop off. I said.
Oh, yeah. Gets me fucking jacked up. Yeah. Woo! Woo!
I said.